election year, then go look at precinct election results from previous presidential election years. If you're not in a presidential election year, don't look for presidential elections, look for midterm election years. Easiest way to do this is, remember, jump back 4 years at a time. We're in 2014 as we record this. Go back and look at 2010 elections, and 2006 elections, and 2002 elections. If you were doing this in the next presidential year, 2016, then you'd be looking for 2012, 2008, and 2004. So that's what we mean by similar elections. Now, what you're going to do is get the data from those elections. You can find them in the newspapers, on microfiche. You can find them using an advanced Google search. You can go to the library. You can go to the Secretary of State's office in your state. There's lots of places to find this information. Find your similar elections. All you're trying to do right now is analyze the turnout history in the district that you're interested in running this campaign in. What you're going to find out is that you're going to have roughly even turnout as a percentage of the number of voters. So you may find out that in Virginia's 1st congressional district, for instance, that you get a 39% turnout in one of those off your election. You get a 42% turnout in the second one, and you get a 41% turnout in the third one. It's all bunched right there together because precincts tend to vote that way. They may not all vote in the 40s, some will vote in the 50s, some will vote in the 60s, some will vote in the 30s. But they all tend to vote the same way. So what you're going to do is take those numbers, take 3 numbers, go back the last 3 similar elections, and take the high number, because that's the most that anybody has turned out. Once you've analyzed that, and you've got the number for each district, then you're going to determine the number of registered voters in the universe for this election. This is very important. The way you determine the number of registered voters, frankly, is by going to the Secretary of State's website or go to the Registrar of Voters and find out how many registered voters are there in this district at this time. It's just that simple. But this is a crucial number to have. It's a number that you can find. It's a crucial number to have because we're about to make a guess. And the guess is only as accurate as the information that we put in. It's only as accurate as the variables that we put in. This is one of those 2 variables. I just gave you the first variable. That's the turnout history and the registry, or the turnout percentage that we were just talking about. So you're going to take those 2 variables.
Okay, so it's very interesting how you target your voter and who, because we want voters that are going to go actually out and vote. So what you do is you go to your precinct, and then they'll run a list for you. That's where the candidates come in. They run the list for you. So when you do put forth your efforts are the highest probability that that voter is going to turn out. And a lot of the voters, they want to know who to vote for. So that's where the door hangers come in. Like, who did the Republican Party endorse? And so then you put on a door hanger, or what the candidate stands for, so that you put that door hanger on their door, because everyone's so busy and it's very difficult to have time to research every single candidate. So that's where the door hangers come in, and you work with the precincts and you find out everything you need to know. And then also you can do phone banking, and this is where you call out, and that's also targeted, so that we know that that voter is the highest probability that will vote Republican. So do you have any questions on that? Okay, so on your tables, we're just going to skip forward a little bit because our candidates are running a little bit late, but you will have a leader form, as well as you have the the candidates that there's the high probability. Yes, here's the form for your county action plan. And then, can I have that other one? Thank you. And then here's the strike team. So these are the candidates that we have, the state assembly candidates, and that we target so that there's a high probability that we can get them elected. So if it's in a Hillary precinct, then the probability is not as high. But if we go to, say, Randy Vopel, it's 18.1%. red. So that's a high probability. And then also Marie Walden. So these are the candidates that we target so that they have the highest probability of getting elected. So on your tables, what we're going to do, we're going to have a leader. So you're going to elect a leader, and then we're going to form a team. So you're going to meet hopefully monthly, or actually weekly, because the election's in 4 weeks. So yeah, it's coming upon us, November 6th. So you're going to meet weekly, and then have action plans, and then at the end of the candidate's speech, we're going to go over your action plan. So we're going to need the leaders to come up and just tell us what their action plan is so that everyone can understand. Are there any questions so far?
Do we have voter rolls now?
Voter rolls?
Do you have them tonight?
You won't have them tonight. The specific candidates may have some. For your precinct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Okay, are there any other candidates that would like to come up and speak? Okay, do you want to play the hand signals? Do you have it? Okay, Lois, do you want to come up and speak? And then when Travis comes, I'll announce that he's here. But we'll continue on since we're running a little late.
And I will be happy to leave the stage when Tom goes. Hi, I'm Lois. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about the ground game because that is the most important way to get out the vote. So it's called Boots on the Ground. And as we stated before, we're targeting voters to the polls. So we want to get targeted voters, and for your question over there about roles, if you talk to your GOP Central Committee, and I do have some names and addresses for Orange County and Los Angeles County, they will have that information for you. I don't have San Diego County, but it is on the internet. I can get it for you though. I didn't bring San Diego County, but I only brought Orange County and LA County with me. But I will make sure that I get the information for San Diego County and make it available. So, you're from what city now?
Oceanside.
You're from Oceanside, okay. So, I'll get the information from San Diego County, and I will make sure that it's made available on the site, and I will let everybody know that. Do you regularly check the volunteer sites? No? Okay. Talk to me after the meeting, okay? And I'll make sure that I get it to you. Anyway, let's go on. We want to make sure that we get a huge turnout. That is the only way that the Republicans are going to win. And it should be easier to do this year because of everything that's been going on with Kavanaugh and the quote mob rule that we've seen out there. So therefore, we need to make sure that we talk to these people. Because a lot of people don't know. As Christina said, they don't know who to vote for, and they're going to be very confused about the gas tax. Because it doesn't say repeal the gas tax for Proposition 6. It says eliminate highway funds or some other strange thing on there, and they're not going to understand what that means. So you need to make sure when you're talking to people that you explain that to them also. Because that's why the canvassing is important. So we only the registered voters turned out in 2014. And when we had Trump win, we had 75% of the registered voters turn out to vote. So we need more people coming out. So thank you, Kavanaugh. You helped us. You strengthened our party. You unified us, and we also are very enforced because of the fact that they were talking about eliminating due process. So that helps us a great deal. Now, we've already looked at the video, but I'm going to give you a few numbers about what it takes to actually elect someone. It takes 7,600 paid staff and trained organizers, and $24 million knocked on, 26 million phone calls, and 50.9 million emails. That's an example of what it takes to win an election. For any position.
Well, there's a lot of governor.
Well, okay, for between governor and, but we're talking, let's talk percentages instead of numbers. Then you're still going to want to reach as all of the registered Republican voters, and you're still going to want to talk to them about why they should be going out to vote. And I'm going to be a poll worker, by the way, and when, on the day of the election, one of the things that every poll place will have is the addresses of everybody and what party they are.
Right.
So, if in fact we should have people going by there to check to see who has come in to vote. And at least give them a gentle reminder about, gee, have you come in to vote yet? Do you need help? Do you want somebody to come out there and help you vote?
Are those the kind of lists that we're going to get a hold of?
That's the kind of list that's only at the election polls, but I'm saying that at any of the GOP central committees or central organizations, they will have that particular list that you're talking about.
And
So-
who do we contact for that?
If you go onto the internet and you're going to San Diego, you go San Diego Republican Party Central Committees or committees, then they will show you a list of all the San Diego Republican Party committees. And then you can go directly to them and they can give you a list of who's in your particular district.
We can't download it?
That you have to probably get through the Registrar of Recorders and the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying to do that because I'm not sure whether or not that would have a cost involved. Okay, so canvassing, that is the most important thing that we do. Because nobody's going to know what's the most important, and we are the ones that are supposed to be the most educated and knowledgeable about our candidates. So we need to be able to tell them why it's important for them to go out and vote for these people. So it's extremely important. I'm going to be doing that on the 13th. By the way, for my candidate, Diane Harkey.
She's ours too.
Okay, well, they have a number of events, and I have a list of them that on the back table that are all happening this weekend, that are all canvassing events for Diane Harkey. It also has her name and her number for phone banking. So, supporters can become volunteers. Now, what we want to talk about is what Christina talked about before was the undecideds, right? And what they mentioned in the video. People who don't know which way they're going to go. And even if they're saying, I'm a lovable Democrat, it's like, okay, I'm very interested. Can you at least tell me why? Because nobody can. If you're looking at them for policy, they can't give you anything. They don't have any items that they're running on except they hate Trump. So even if nobody's home, at least leave them some literature, letting them know that you were there, somebody was there, they cared about giving them some information. Phone banking. That's another really super important tool, and every single one of your GOP centers is going to be able to tell you what's most important for them. But the two things they're never going to turn down are canvassing and phone banking. Because those are the two ways that are the most personal, that will get you through to the voter, that will allow you to get them the information that you want to give them in order to allow them to make an informed decision. So phone banking and canvassing, extremely important. But we aren't going to leave you out there in the cold. We're providing you with scripts. And unanswered calls, you can use your script to leave a voicemail. And you can do this from the comfort of your own home, or you can go to a number of the phone bank centers. We are going to be making available targeted voters via spreadsheets. Okay. We're going to be making available the phone numbers with spreadsheets so that, and they also even have this as an app on your phone. So,
Thank you very much, Lois, and we'll see you in a few minutes. With more details. Okay, I would like to give Travis Allen a heartfelt welcome in his quest to take back California with common sense values. Please welcome Travis Allen. He's on his way.
Question over here.
Yeah, I have a question. Yeah, since we're Republican Party, and it's so crucial this year to elect Republicans, I have not seen any rallies for John Fox and Harkey. And we only have like less than 30 days, and I think that's so important to the community.
I agree. Their campaigns are here tonight, so that's a good question
Yeah.
for Diane Harkey as well as Pat Bates. Ask them what they have planned, and that it is a very effective way to get the word out for a candidate. Absolutely. Okay, there was another question? Where was it?
Could you please repeat the question before you answer it so we can hear?
Okay, she wanted to know about rallies, that she had no information regarding any rallies. Any more questions?
This may not, you may not have the answer, but it's an Oceanside question.
Okay.
Proposition Y, for the farmers, where if we're sending mixed messages on whether Y is a yes or Y is a no, to keep the farming going and not eliminate the farmers, is it a yes or is it a no? You know or you know?
Okay, I can look at the voter guide. I will,
It's confusing, right?
yeah, and it's controversial.
All right.
I have to look at the voter guide and what their perspective is on that proposition. And here we have Travis Allen. A heartfelt welcome to Travis Allen to take back California with common sense values.
much. How's everybody doing? Now, this is not my first visit to Oceanside. I've been in this very room, on this very stage. And was anybody here the last time we were coming through Oceanside? Let's hear it for Taking Back California for Republicans. I'm going to tell you, I was born in the state and I was raised in the state. I was born right here in San Diego. I was raised in Chula Vista, about 5 minutes from the border. I have had to watch as my family and friends have all left the state. My parents live in the south coast of Oregon. My brother lives in Tucson, Arizona. My best friend lives in Texas. I don't know about you, but I don't want to go anywhere. This is my state. This is your state. It belongs to us. It belongs to common sense. It belongs to strong borders, to tough on crime policies. It belongs to American families. It belongs to lower taxes and taxes that we vote on. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the state of Ronald Reagan. This is the state of Republicans. And this is the state that will be Republican again. I got a quick question. Who here voted for our Republican nominee for President Donald J. Trump? Yeah. If you remember back in 2016, if you listened to the news, if you listened to the pollsters, if you listened to all those people that were talking to you that said, you might as well just pack it in right now. Don't even show up to vote because crooked Hillary has us in the bag. Remember this? Remember these conversations? You probably had them around the dinner table or at Christmas time, right? This is what everybody say. Don't even waste your time on Republicans. They're done. Time magazine came out with their cover. It said Republicans as a party are done in the United States. That was 6 months before the election. Were they right? No. Were they wrong? Yes. Were we right? Yes. And did we win? Yes. 6 months after we won, Time magazine realized that we now had the presidency. We had majorities in the Senate and in the House. We had more state governors and more state legislators than the Democrats. Not only were the Republicans countrywide not dead, we were stronger than ever, strongest since the 1920s. And ladies and gentlemen, something amazing just happened last week. We got Brett Kavanaugh, a conservative, on the Supreme Court. We have it all. We have the White House. We have the Senate. We have the House. We have the Supreme Court for a generation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is because of your hard work. Don't let them tell you that Hillary took California and so your Republican vote doesn't matter here. Don't let Jerry Brown, Willie Brown, Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, Dianne Feinstein, don't listen to any of this nonsense coming out of San Francisco. Your vote matters. Your money, your efforts, your calls got Donald Trump elected to the White House. If we stayed home, if we didn't make these calls, if we didn't write those checks, if we didn't do everything we could do to help out Republicans nationally, Donald Trump wouldn't have won. But we got a historic victory. And now we have everything. But you know what? The Democrats, they're not stopping. As soon as Obama left office, he took his organization, which was called Obama for America, and now it's called Organizing for America. They kept the same initials even. He opened up a headquarters in Washington, D.C. They now have political operatives up and down every state. 40,000 at last estimate. And these guys got one objective. They want to impeach our president. They want to break our majorities in the House. They want to break our majority in the Senate. They can't have the Supreme Court. We already got that for them. But they want to do it all. And you know what? They want to do it right here through Orange County. They want to do it right here through San Diego. They want to do it right here in California. They want to do it in this very ground that we stand and sit on right now. There is a candidate in this congressional race. Her name is Diane Harkey. I'm telling you right now, she's the next congresswoman to replace Carol Issa. What do you say? Are we going to let the Democrats bring Hussein Obama and Joe Biden into Oceanside and take away a Republican seat?
No.
Are we going to fight?
Yeah.
Are we going to win? Yeah. Are we going to put a Republican back in Congress in Oceanside? And you guys stop there, listen. Across Orange County, they're trying to break seats. Across San Diego, they're trying to break seats. Tonight, we're also going to be visited by Diane Harkey, as well as Senate Leader Pat Bates. She is the Republican Senate Leader. They are coming after her seat as well. Because you know what? When the DCCC, that's the Democrat, whatever, congressional committee comes in with all their millions, they spend it on the congressional races, but then what they want to do is they want this money to filter down into the state legislative races. So they can steal your politicians, so they can steal your elected representatives, so they can take your Republican representatives that are stopping tax increases, that are fighting for stronger borders, that are fighting for tough on crime laws, better education for our kids, less traffic, more water, everything we believe in. They are trying to steal our seats. Are we going to let the Democrats win in Oceanside, in San Diego, or in Orange County? No. Are we going to fight? How are we going to fight? We're going to volunteer. Every single one of us needs to volunteer for a political campaign tonight. Before we have left, I want every single person in this room to absorb everything they're telling you about forming your own local community groups, setting up your own phone banks or going to others' phone banks, knocking on doors to tell your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, look, you really got to get out there and vote for these candidates because they need your votes. These races are close. They're all within single digits. All of these races can be changed by your hard work. If you knock on just a couple extra doors, if you make just a couple extra phone calls, if you tell your friends, your families, your neighbors to vote Republican up and down the ticket, we will win. But if you don't, if you stay at home, if Republicans stay at home, everything the Democrats have lied about will come true. Are we going to let that happen?
No.
Are we all going to fight?
Yes.
Are we going to win?
Yes.
Are we going to send a message to the Democrats that California was made great by Ronald Reagan?
Yes.
Are we going to send a message that California is going to stay Republican in Oceanside? Are we going to send a message that the Republican Party isn't done in California? We are just getting started. I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Travis Allen, and I'm not on your ballot. I'm here for everybody else. Because right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is our time. This is our turn. November is our race. This is up to you. And together, ladies and gentlemen, we will take back California. What do you say?
Travis is a rock star. He is a very, very special person, and I want to thank you all for showing up, and I want to thank you all for agreeing to help. This is one of the most important elections in California, and I hate to tell you guys, but the National Party has got their own problems, and they're not here to help, so this is up to us. We really need to do this. This is a very important seat. The 49th Congressional District is a crown jewel of everything that we believe in: innovation, technology, manufacturing, just about everything, the military, military contracting. All of those things are here. The R&D that comes out of this district for biotech, biomed, life sciences, all the things that will save lives and dollars in healthcare is all this district. Now, do we want to give this up to some group that's going to ruin it, tax it, okay, tax it out of existence, and put everybody on Medicare for all? No, we don't. We don't need a $32 trillion program. We need, and do we need to have open borders? No, we don't need open borders. We need border security and a sound immigration plan. And, you know, I mean, I could go on and on. I could go on and on. But these are some of the issues. And do we want that tax reform totally repealed?
Yes.
No, the tax reform, not repealed. We want to expand on it. Okay, then do we like the tax reform? Yes. Has it built jobs? Yes. Has it helped you in your paychecks? Yes. Do we want it to continue to help California in spite of all its bad tax law to grow? Yes. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And can we do this? Let's borrow one of theirs. Yes, we can. And how do we do this? We do this by your work, Travis's work, and everybody up and down the state getting out, precinct walking, phone banking, telling your friends, please, you have to show up. If this seat goes, it will be the way that continues to creep up this state, and we will be once and for all a socialist state. And do we want that? No. Are we smarter than that? Yes. And let me tell you one more thing. I was talking to one of my opponent's supporters, and I was in this real nice area, okay? And he was asking me, first I walked up and I'm just shaking hands, just saying hi. He goes, well, I'm 11 supporter, and so you don't need to give your speech to me. And I said, well, I wasn't giving you a speech. I was just saying hi, how are you? Because you know you're in my neighborhood here. How are you? And he said, well, you know, we're moving in here and we're going to take over. And I said, why do you move into an area and want to change it? And he said, because everybody's just really stupid. We're tired of these stupid people. And I looked at him and I said, I didn't really appreciate that. I said, don't call my people stupid. We're not stupid. We may have different ideas. Then he looks at me and goes, did you vote for Trump? And I said, yes. He goes, then you're a racist. And I said, you know what? You sound like a bigot to me. He came unglued. Look up the word bigot. Means intolerance of other opinions. He came unglued. He was in my face. He was starting to scream, starting to foam at the mouth. Now, is this a happy man? I ask you, a happy guy, right? And I was just smiling all the time because you know what? We are happy. We are happy because we know what we believe is true. You know, we are. We can be self-made. All we want is an opportunity to be able to create something, live and breathe, and have our kids and our grandkids do a little bit better or even equal to us. That's all we want. We don't want a whole lot out of life. And we can do that in this country. When I came to California as a 10-year-old, there was really not a whole lot going on for me. I was 17. I graduated from high school. First off, my first job was 9 years old, peeling onions next to Bracero workers that were in Illinois come up for the season because I wanted to earn a first Barbie doll. My mother didn't have the money and said, go work with the neighbors over there. They go out to the farm every morning and help their family. That's what I did. And then my second was when I was 17. I graduated from high school. And my dad was sick. My brother was in Vietnam. We had 2 younger sisters. My mother had never worked. So it was up to me to help support the family. So I went to work full-time and carpooled into LA with my first job and made the house payment and the car payment while my mother went to work for her first job at JCPenney's as a clerk and took care of everything else. 2 years later, my dad was back, my brother was back, and I never looked back. I started working at a bank. Decided to make a career out of it. When I was 20, I decided this was a career. So because I was in California, I was able to put myself through community college, transfer to UCI, get a degree in economics, all while raising a daughter and working. It took a long time, but it was doable. And that's because of what we had and what we need to keep. People need the opportunities. Not every kid comes out of school wanting to go to college. I hated school. I wanted to get out and work, and I would never have gone to college even if it wasn't for my dad being ill. But I went back when I was ready, and I did it, and I'm very, very proud. We have these opportunities. People have the opportunity to be all that they can be, and we don't want to take that away from them. So Travis, thank you so much for all you do. I really, really appreciate you guys. This is a war, but it's a war for a way of life and what we believe in. And God bless you, God bless America, and fight on. Thank you.
Diane Harkey, our next congresswoman out of Oceanside, California. Guy, can you stick around for a couple pictures for a minute? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, raise your hand if you're ready to volunteer for Diane Harkey. Make sure we get another Republican in Congress. There we go, Diane. Look around. These are your people. Raise your hands high. All right. If you got your hand raised, there's going to be a clipboard passed around. Put your name, put your email, put your address, put your phone number on that. Diane's campaign will reach out to you, and you better believe she's going to put you to work. We have less than 30 days before November 6th. Every single day counts. Think about this. These races are won by hundreds of votes or low thousands. Every single voter that you get matters. Every single thing that you do from now until November 6th matters. She has an incredibly professional campaign staff. I've known them for years. They're among the very best in the business. They will put your talents to good use. Raise your hand if you're ready to volunteer for Diane Harkey. Let's hear it. I love it.
We have a Vista office. Either one. Rourke is Vista. We have Carlsbad. We don't have a representative here from Carlsbad office, but it doesn't matter. He can handle all of it and get you where it's easier for you to be. But I want to thank you so much. We're also having a walk on Saturday here out of this at 9 o'clock, a veterans walk. So, you know, if you can come participate, that's good. Phone banking, we've got tons of phones in Carlsbad and a lot of phones in Vista. We're ready to go. We're launched. Anything you need. So thank you very, very much for helping.
Amen. God bless you, Diane Harkey. Guys, raise your hand, anybody, if you watch Fox News. Right? Okay, maybe listen to a little Rush Limbaugh on the radio. Right? And then Alex Jones, there you go. God bless you. Get him back on Twitter, shall we? So listen. Everybody here knows that the president is under assault daily, right? From the right and from the left. I can personally vouch for Diane Harkey. When I was in the legislature for 6 years, she sat right next to me. And this was when I first started. When I had a question, I'd ask Di. And you know what Di would say? Hit the red button. It's a Democrat bill. Let's hear it for Diane. The reason I ask, if you watch Fox News or if you listen to, Alex Jones or Rush Limbaugh or any of these guys on the radio, you hear the tricks daily that the Democrats are up to. We all saw it, with this Kavanaugh confirmation. 50 groups there were protesting Kavanaugh's nomination. 50 of them funded by George Soros. 50. Remember those two ladies that gave Jeff Flake such a hard time in that Senate elevator? One of them was fully on the payroll of an organization that, of course, takes money from George Soros. So if you think this is organic, it is not. It is a well-orchestrated plan of the Democrat Party in collusion with the media to try to control your government. Now, if these things make you mad, if these things make you angry, and you say, you know what, how does this happen? Well, I'll tell you how it happens. It happens when we don't get enough people like Diane Harkey elected to Congress. The more people we get like Diane elected to Congress, the less we have to listen to this nonsense. The sooner we can all get back to work. With the lowest unemployment we've had in this country in 49 years, America is now once again the strongest nation in the world. Strongest military, strongest economy that is as strong as it's been in decades. Lowest unemployment ever on record for Latinos and African Americans. Lowest on record in decades for women. Think about this. This is good in the world. When Donald Trump says he's making America great again, you better believe it. We are number one. All you gotta do to make this happen is volunteer your time, volunteer your dollars, volunteer your efforts. Get your friends, get your families out there. Come on Saturday out for her walk. Man her phone banks. Do whatever her campaign asks you for the next 25 days or so. That's all it takes. And you know what? You can go back for the next 2 years and smile every time you listen to the evening news, because you're going to know that we got a Republican in Oceanside because of your hard work, and God bless you for that. So ladies and gentlemen, we got a little the training here for you to finish. We are going to complete this training. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I think Guy's going to stick around as well. We got Senate Leader Pat Bates coming too, so we will be right out here. Enjoy the rest of the presentation, and I will see you at the end. And you better believe together we are going to take back California. Thank you so much.
All right, Louis, do you want to come back up with your presentation? All right, so our base is energized, right? We're all ready to go? All right, here's some more notes from Louis.
Okay. So, if we're talking about phone banking, and so therefore we aren't going to leave you, like I said, on the code. We'll give you a script, and if nobody's there, leave them a voicemail with a very nice, kind voice. That's the kind of people that we are. We're the nice, kind people, right? So that's what we really want to make sure that we are doing it exactly that way. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. But like I said, we even have apps for this. So we talked about canvassing already. So now we're going to talk a little bit about what the organization is all about. The ground game, first of all, you have a county captain. They are going to oversee the full county operation. They will be delegating and recruiting new leaders and providing information to local teams, because when you're looking at something, you're saying, okay, this is San Bernardino County, but am I going to be able to look at everything for San Bernardino County? No. So I want to have city people. I want to have all those other people. So therefore, you need to get a lot of volunteers. And then we're going to talk a little bit, just 2 things about the ground game. Again. And that we're going to talk